Now, the 14th video on my list is called Luck, Year 2022, directed by Peggy Holmes. The movie Luck. So this movie, I watched this last night and it was kind of interesting, I guess. It's unique, something different. I don't think any other movies incorporated this theme of luck into it, but I think this movie did try to do something different. I would say that. So what's the story of this movie? Well, the movie goes into Sam or Samantha and Hazel. So both of these girls are in the adoption agency or orphanage. They both are good friends. However, the main character, Sam, is very unlucky in this movie. Now, Hazel is much younger. So she's a little girl. Now, Sam is now 18. And when you're becoming 18, you have to move out and live on your own. So you see Sam in the orphanage transported to her apartment, where next morning she has to work at a job. Now, because of her unluckiness, she doesn't do quite well in her job. She always messes up and creates a bit of a mess to the point where she has to do some cart duties. That's the scenario with her. Now, Hazel is still young. She wants to get her forever family, which is basically two couples adopting her. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for Sam because, you know, she's 18. She had many chances on her list, but I think because of her unluckiness through the story that she wasn't able to get picked. So she's on her own. However, Hazel still has a chance of becoming adopted. Sam wants to help her. Since she's so unlucky, we get into the beginning scenes in the movie where she goes through her life in a very unlucky fashion. To the point where it looks so annoying, infuriating, and it makes you feel like, why can't you just do this correctly type of thing. For example, just her day-to-day life, how she wakes up, she's late. Sometimes she's late, but she has to get ready. She makes breakfast. The toaster's not working. I think it kind of looks like she's just clumsy a lot of the times, but I think for the story's sake, I think she's just unlucky, and they're just showcasing of how unlucky she is. Can't even find matching socks. The leaf blower of like leaves going in, she's tripping, she's falling, she's making all these mistakes, which again, it is annoying to see. That part didn't really make me feel too interested in continuing watching, but I do want to watch the entire movie throughout. Furthermore, it doesn't really help that her unluckiness is the reason why she can't keep it together. Some people might say it's just clumsiness and low wise decision. We continue further on into the story where Sam is trying to think of a way to help Hazel find her forever family. She doesn't want Hazel to end up like her. So what she comes to come across is when she was eating her panini sandwich. By the way, panini sandwiches are very good. She comes across a black cat. Now, superstition wise, black cats are known to be like producing bad luck. So I think they put that and incorporated that element into the story because of the theme of the movie. So she meets a black cat, and while everyone else is avoiding the black cat, she on the other hand does not, and she gives half of her panini sandwich to that black cat, and the black cat takes it and enjoys the meal and runs off. Notice that she was able to find a lucky penny on the ground that the black cat has left. Unfortunately, the black cat dropped it, and so she saw that, picked it up, and all of a sudden the next scenes, she is just the luckiest person. She was able to put together everything. She's not messy, she's not tripping, making mistakes at all, and it goes to show that she has found a lucky penny. Now in the story, she was told by Hazel that she was having her own collection of lucky charms and lucky stuff, and the only thing missing is her lucky penny. So finally Sam was able to find this lucky penny, and she's so ecstatic and happy that she's able to find this lucky penny and give it to Hazel, so that way she has a guarantee that she's going to meet her forever family. However, she's still clumsy, and this part where she goes to the bathroom and accidentally get the lucky penny flushed down the toilet, which was so hard to see because, man, if you had been a little bit more careful, it wouldn't have happened. But then again, in order to move the story along, I think they did that purposely. So that happened, just sad and felt very helpless at that point. So so she gets down in the slums, but eventually she was able to reunite with the black cat. Now, she just likes to talk with this black cat and says that, oh, I just lost the lucky penny and got flushed down the toilet. The cat being so surprised and angry, the black cat was talking now. And because the black cat was talking, which doesn't normally happen, she was surprised as well. But the black cat, seeing how the situation is dire, how the lucky penny is kind of like his travel ticket, he now decides to find a way to get another lucky penny or something like that. I forgot what his motives were at that point, but he later on transports him into the lucky world. Now, Sam, wanting to not give up, wants to still have that lucky penny in hand so that way she could still give it to Hazel. So she follows the cat. The cat name is Bob, which is kind of, okay, a simple name. She follows Bob into the lucky world. They are transported into the lucky world, and we get to see just about everything there is about the world of the lucky world, because it felt like in the movie when I was watching it, it just felt like an adventure of just the world building, and they go through every scene in the world, and there wasn't too much dialogue. It just felt like they were just trying to find another lucky penny, which for the story to have that type of direction, it kind of is very simple and less exciting and impactful. And along the way, it's so annoying to see them make mistakes again and again, to where it just feels like this movie is kind of dragging on the fact that the main character, Samantha, Sam, is so unlucky, which makes it harder for them to just get this one single lucky penny. That part I don't really enjoy watching too much, okay? I get that's the theme of the story, of how it kind of moves along, but to me, that it just makes it too difficult to watch. Anyways, so they go on this mission to find a lucky penny. The goal of the mission was that they strike a deal. Hey, I'm going to get this lucky penny for you. Let me use it on my friend Hazel so that way she could get her first forever family, and then I'll come back somehow and give it back to you. So that way everything goes well. In the time span of the captain of not finding out that Bob has lost the lucky penny, which honestly the plan doesn't seem all that thought out. It was like the heat of the moment type of plan. I don't think it would have worked out quite well, which it doesn't, because later on everything just goes out of order, and I feel like a good chunk of the movie just was about just exploring the world, which is fine. I do like the exploration of world building, but it just felt too less in depth and more of like following along the characters for the sake of following along with the characters. There's no slight exploration to where it might seem a little bit more interesting at all and enjoyable to watch. But anywho, we get introduced to a lot of characters, like the dragon, the unicorn, the leprechaun, the bunnies, and it just felt a little bit flat, not gonna lie. However, I will say they kind of destroyed this randomizer, which is, it's kind of, the world in the lucky world is like a factory where you have good luck and bad luck. However, Sam, thinking that we just need good luck, kind of messed up with the machine, and then the machine exploded, and the luck world is in a dire situation. And so she travels down into the bad luck portion. So there's the good luck, there's the in-between, and there's the bad luck. So there's three different sort of locations of this luck world building. And so they eventually were able to find a good small portion of good luck, which then was able to fix the machine to where good luck and bad luck can be distributed around the world randomly. But we have a scene where they eventually get the small amount of good luck from the bad luck area, and then there was a scene where the dragon thought maybe we don't need bad luck, maybe we just need good luck, and she created 2 good luck stones, so that way they're able to put it and only good luck appears. But Sam decided to say, hey, there's good luck and bad luck, however we need both of them to have a balance. So that created that, and then the unicorn and the dragon was able to reunite. They were able to connect, and eventually the story ends with Hazel getting the forever family. The cat, we turns out that Bob is unlucky in the beginning. He had like a lucky coin under his collar, and that was the reason why he was able to be kind of lucky cat. And they were able to connect, never give up, kind of like a story of trying to fix the system, but then eventually they were able to work it out. And then the movie ends with Hazel having her family and hanging out with Sam and Bob. So they all live together in the living world, the human world. And that's how the story ends. Now let's start with the 3 reasons why this movie was bad. Okay, that was terrible, which is why I like to follow a script, because it's more simpler and easier and less complicated / messy, and much better for you to follow along. Okay, so now the 3 reasons why this movie is bad according to the internet.
According to the internet, the movie Luck has 3 main weaknesses: confusing world building, a generic hero journey, and limited character development. Now back to you.
And so the first one is confusing world building. Okay, so I do agree with this straight off the bat because we did explore a lot of the luck and unluck and even in between world very thoroughly. The majority of the story is just simply that. And that didn't make it too exciting or intriguing for some reason. I feel like it would have been great if they expanded on the formation of the luck world, the past history, the origin story of how this world came to be in the first place. That could pique people's interest maybe. Also on the details, the rules of governing the luck and unluck can feel inconsistent or overly complex. Like how luck is assigned, manipulated, or transferred. How we see characters' fortunes change without any explanation. This makes it hard to fully grasp the cause and effect, and it can undermine tension or even critical moments. There isn't even a lot of consequences. There was no clear villain in the story other than being banished to the unluck town. But I do also think the main character has suffered enough from just being unlucky. A more clear structure system could have helped us understand the stakes and strategies within the world. The luck mechanics and currency is vague. There is so much unclear limitations and consequences. The second reason being it is a generic hero journey. This is kind of true. I mean, the story kind of goes like the protagonist starts out as powerless or unlucky, faces challenges and then gains allies, confronts the system and tries to fix it, but then later found out that they were wrong to do so. Then suddenly and conveniently restores balance, which the story lacks fresh twists and interesting thought processes. It just feels like it's just get it done type of deal. Do this and do that like a checklist. The story could have explored more morally complex or unconventional outcomes, but maybe they were playing it safe, a little bit too safe, because they could have dived deeper on the concept if change is the right thing to do. However, the movie mostly focuses on the external obstacles rather than a deep internal growth. It was like an adventure criteria, and also because of that, that could make the story feel a little bit rushed or meaningless. So I will have to agree on this one. The story's journey was too generic. The third one being limited character development, which I 100% agree. Many side characters in this movie solely exist to move the plot along rather than feel like real people. We don't understand really why these characters care on what they do, which reduces the emotional impact. There is minimum growth and change in the story. They are seen like some characters, their personalities seem bland and one-dimensional. And I think definitely the real main reason for this is the lack of backstory for every single character in this movie. We don't know truly who these people are, their morals, reasons, passions, fear, and specific emotions. I mean, their stories might be hinted but never explored truly. I would have liked to see how unlucky the black cat Bob was, how he acquired or how he was able to be on the lucky side. If we could also see slightly of Samantha's backstory, of her true predicament, the way she was thinking, how she ended up the way that she did. Was she born this unlucky or did something happen? How did she get to be an orphan? And what makes her so special compared to the other people? And I'm pretty sure there are other unlucky individuals as well, or people who are very clumsy and uncoordinated. Also, we could have had the dragon babe and the unicorn Jeff show their past scenes of them meeting each other for the first time, so we can see and visualize what truly happened in their past experience, so that way we could connect it to the story. And without a good backstory, the audience have little reason to empathize with these characters, so the plot twists or conflict involving them carry less weight. There is just a lot of things wrong with this movie, but I do appreciate the movie being about how life isn't fair, or that people can still be kind and hopeful even when things go wrong, and the balance of both good and bad side of things, because from the bad luck we can learn from our mistakes, appreciate good moments, and create unexpected opportunities, which is a nice thought to keep in mind. The song was a little catchy, which was nice, but just overall the movie was frustrating and disappointing to watch, and that's all I have to say. So the reason why my videos look choppy is because I can't upload long video files because it's too much to transfer from my phone to my computer. So instead I just upload it into YouTube, go and download my own video and try to re-edit it as best as I can. Which is why in some of my videos you might see it as low quality. You have even this popping out. when I try to transfer long form video. And so that is the reason why I like to highly script on my videos by dividing them into little pieces of writing, because I have trouble and can't even remember or memorize an entire sentence without messing up horribly. And it looks terrible, trust me on that. And so hopefully you guys can understand my situation. Now back to the video.